4 signs you're not ready to rent an apartment. Renting an apartment is a significant step toward independence, offering flexibility and a place to call your own. However, jumping into a lease without proper preparation can lead to financial strain, stress, or disrupted plans. Recognizing the signs that you're not ready to rent empowers you to build a stronger foundation, ensuring a smooth transition to your new home. Drawing on insights from real estate experts and reputable sources like Forbes, Bankrate, and the Wall Street Journal, here are 4 signs that you're not prepared to rent an apartment, illustrated with examples like Sarah and Noah. Each sign includes actionable steps to get ready, inspiring you to approach renting with confidence and clarity. To keep the tone engaging and motivational, I'll include periodic invitations to reflect or connect every few signs, ensuring a comfortable and inspiring flow for anyone planning to rent. 1. Your monthly budget can't comfortably cover rent and utilities. Why it matters. Rent and utilities, like electricity, water, and internet, should fit comfortably within your budget, ideally not exceeding 30% of your monthly income, to avoid financial strain. If these costs stretch your finances, you risk late payments, debt, or eviction. A 2023 Bankrate survey found that 40% of renters spend over 30% of their income on housing, with 25% struggling to cover other essentials. For example, Sarah, a 28-year-old graphic designer, earns $4,000 monthly and budgets $1,200 for rent and utilities, staying within 30%, while Noah, a 26-year-old barista, earns $2,500 but targets $1,000 apartments, leaving little for other expenses. Signs you're not ready. A rent and utilities, like $1,200 monthly, exceed 30% of your income, such as $3,000. You can't cover rent, utilities, and essentials, like groceries or savings, without cutting back drastically. You haven't calculated a full housing budget, including variable costs like heat or Wi-Fi. The evidence. Affordable housing prevents stress. A 2022 Journal of Housing Economics study found that renters spending under 30% of income on housing were 20% less likely to face financial distress and 15% more likely to save consistently. High housing costs crowd out other priorities, per Forbes budgeting guides. Budgeting tools like Mint help estimate total expenses. How to address it. Calculate affordability. List 1 month's income and expenses, like $3,000 and $2,000, to set a rent cap, as Sarah does. Aim for 30%. Target apartments under 30% of income, like $900 for $3,000 earnings, like Noah could. Include utilities. Research average utility costs, like $150 monthly, for one apartment this week. Boost income or cut costs. Pick up a $100 monthly side gig or reduce dining out by $50 to free up funds. Motivational tip. Like Sarah, tally your income and expenses today, like $500 for groceries, to set a rent budget. Picture an affordable apartment as a foundation, supporting your financial stability. This week, calculate 30% of your income to find your rent limit and feel the power of a balanced budget. 2. You lack a clear plan for long-term housing stability. Why it matters. Renting requires a strategy for staying housed over time, including savings for emergencies, job changes, or rent increases. Without a long-term plan, you risk instability or frequent moves, which are costly and disruptive. A 2024 Forbes report notes that 35% of renters face unexpected moves due to poor planning, with 20% incurring $1,000 to $2,000 in relocation costs. For example, Sarah saves $200 monthly for emergencies and plans to stay in her city for 5 years, ensuring stability, while Noah rents without savings or a clear timeline, risking eviction if his hours are cut. Signs you're not ready. You haven't saved for housing emergencies, like a $1,000 repair or missed rent payment. You're unsure how long you'll stay in the area, like 1 year or 5, complicating lease decisions. You lack a financial buffer, like 3 months' rent, to handle job loss or rent hikes. The evidence. Planning ensures continuity. A 2023 Journal of Urban Affairs study found that renters with emergency savings and clear housing plans were 25% less likely to face eviction and 20% more likely to maintain leases. Unplanned moves disrupt finances, per Bankrate renting guides. An emergency fund and defined goals anchor stability. How to address it. Build a buffer. Save $50 monthly for housing emergencies, like Sarah does, starting today. Define your timeline. Decide how long you'll stay, like 3 years, this week, like Noah could. A plan for increases. Budget for a 5% rent hike, like $50 more, in your next lease year. Create a savings goal. Aim for 3 months' rent, like $2,700 for $900 rent, within 12 months. Motivational tip. Like Sarah, save $10 today for a housing emergency fund, even in a savings account. See a housing plan as a roadmap, guiding you to stability. This week, set one housing goal, like a 2-year stay, to clarify your path and feel the confidence of preparation. Have you planned for a stable home? Share your approach or follow for more renting tips. 3. Your credit history may prevent lease approval. Why it matters. Landlords often check credit reports to assess your reliability, typically requiring a score of 600 to 650 or higher for approval. A weak credit history, low scores, late payments, or collections can lead to rejections or higher deposits. A 2023 The Wall Street Journal article notes that 30% of rental applicants with scores below 600 are denied leases, with 15% paying deposits up to $1,000. For example, Sarah maintains a 680 credit score with timely payments, securing her lease easily, while Noah's 580 score, due to missed bills, jeopardizes his rental applications. Signs you're not ready. Your credit score is below 600, or you're unaware of your score, risking lease denials. Your credit report shows negative marks, like late payments or collections, unaddressed. You haven't prepared for landlord requirements, like co-signers or extra deposits, for weak credit. The evidence. Strong credit opens doors. A 2022 Journal of Real Estate Research study found that renters with scores above 650 were 20% more likely to secure leases and paid 15% less in deposits. Poor credit triggers stricter terms, per Bankrate credit guides. Free credit checks and dispute processes improve scores before applying. How to address it. Check your score. Use a free service, like Credit Karma, to view your score today, as Sarah does. Fix errors. Dispute one inaccurate credit report item, like a wrong payment, like Noah could. Build credit. Pay one bill, like a $50 credit card, on time this month to boost your score. Prepare alternatives. Identify one co-signer or save $500 for a higher deposit if needed. Motivational tip. Like Sarah, check your credit score today to gauge your rental readiness. Picture good credit as a key, unlocking your dream apartment. This week, pay one bill early to strengthen your credit and feel the momentum of progress. 4. You're unsure about the location or lease terms. Why it matters. Committing to an apartment without researching the neighborhood, safety, amenities, or commute, or understanding lease terms, like duration, penalties, or maintenance, can lead to regret or financial traps. Clarity ensures a good fit. A 2024 Forbes report found that 35% of renters regret their location due to poor research, with 20% breaking leases early, costing $1,000 to $2,000. For example, Sarah visits her target neighborhood, confirming safe streets and a 12-month lease, while Noah signs a lease without checking, stuck in a noisy area with a strict 2-year term. Signs you're not ready. You haven't researched the area's safety, schools, or proximity to work or stores. You're unclear on lease details, like rent increases, subletting rules, or early termination fees. Do you feel rushed to sign without visiting the apartment or reading the lease thoroughly? The evidence. Research prevents costly mistakes. A 2023 Journal of Housing Studies study found that renters who researched locations and leases were 20% more satisfied and 15% less likely to face unexpected costs. Misunderstood terms, like pet fees, add hundreds yearly, per Bankrate renting guides. Site visits and lease reviews ensure alignment. How to address it. Visit the area, tour one neighborhood, checking safety and amenities, this week, as Sarah does. Read a lease. Review one sample lease online, noting key terms, like Noah could. Ask questions. Contact one landlord about lease details, like termination fees, before signing. Compare options. Research 3 apartments to ensure the best location and terms. Motivational tip. Like Sarah, explore one neighborhood today, like a 10-minute walk to check vibe. See research as a compass, pointing to your ideal home. This week, read one lease term, like rent increase clauses, to avoid surprises and feel the strength of informed choices. What's a must-have in your apartment location? Drop a comment or follow for more renting wisdom. Get ready to rent with confidence. You're not ready to rent an apartment if your budget can't cover rent and utilities, you lack a long-term housing plan, your credit history hinders approval, or you're unsure about location and lease terms, like Noah. Spotting these signs, like Sarah, empowers you to budget, plan, and research for a successful rental experience. Take these steps to prepare. Set a budget. Calculate 30% of your income, like $900, for rent today. A plan for stability. Save $20 for a housing emergency fund this week. A boost credit. Check your score or pay one bill on time today. A research thoroughly. Visit one neighborhood or review a lease term this week. Renting an apartment is your gateway to a new chapter, built on financial and lifestyle readiness. Start now with one action. Set a rent budget, save $1, or tour a neighborhood. Like Sarah, each step you take creates a stable, joyful home base. Keep preparing, and watch your rental journey thrive with every smart choice.